All right, let's take a look at what we are going to be doing in Lab 2, our STEM investigation. Okay. So in this, we are going to take some of what we learned in Lab 1 on our Introduction to Engineering, and we are going to apply those concepts to an object of our choice. So let's look at our assignment document, and we're going to see what it is asking and the questions we're going to have. Okay. So in this, you guys are going to choose some object, okay? We will refer to that as our artifact, okay? It can be absolutely anything, but it should be something that you are interested in, okay? We talked about how technology doesn't have to just be something that is electronic. So we can expand to multiple different possible artifacts. However, you can still choose an artifact like a computer or a cell phone. When you choose your object, you want to make sure that it is big enough that we can get information and lots of research about it. So it shouldn't be something that's a very narrow topic. One example might be AirPods. There are not very many versions of AirPods. There's different companies that make different earbuds that look very similar, that are wireless. However, there's not a whole lot of differences in those versions as of right now. So that would not be an appropriate artifact to choose. You could, however, expand that and do your presentation on something such as headphones and earbuds, which would then include all types. It could include the bigger, bulkier types of headphones, the wired earbuds, all the way down to the wireless versions that are like AirPods. Okay, so that would be a topic where you could get lots of information. Okay, so you need something that you're interested in, something maybe that you're using every day, but again, remember, it does not have to be an electronic device. So I give more examples. You could do your presentation on a water bottle. You could do your presentation on different styles of classroom seating or chairs. You could do your presentation on glasses. And again, lots of possibilities. If you're interested in musical instruments, you could do your presentation on the instrument that you play. Okay? So let's look at what you're going to need to do. First, you need to choose that artifact. Then you are going to start research on that artifact, answering the questions to guide you. Okay, these are meant to help you as you're writing down those notes. Okay? After you get your research, has to be all the way done, all of the questions answered, then you're going to prepare a presentation that shows that. You can include other information that I do not ask about, but the minimum amount of information I have to see in your presentation has to be what these questions are. So let's take a look. First off, you need to tell me what is your artifact. That's pretty obvious. We need to know what you are talking about. The purpose. Okay, why do we have it? What's it used for? Why was it made? Who is the original inventor? If you can find the original inventor, that's a great piece of information to include. And when your product was invented. Sometimes you won't be able to find the person. Maybe it's a company. And then sometimes you can't find that. Sometimes you actually have to look at who currently owns the patent. So that's basically a license to be able to create that product. So sometimes it's a company that owns the patent, but not the original inventor. So if you can find all of this information, that's even better. How was it used originally, and how is it used today? You have to be able to expand on this question. Okay? If I'm thinking about a cell phone, when a cell phone was originally created, it was just created to be able to talk to someone when you were not in your home. Okay? There were not texting features, there was not camera on there. That was not the original invention. So how it's used today is far different. Yes, it is still used to call people, but there's more things that have been added to it. Okay? Then you're going to, in number 5, start to give me lists of all those big things that it's undergone. So if, again, using my topic of a cell phone, you could put down some of the major apps and social media that people use. When it was invented, so look for those dates. You could talk about how the camera has changed. You could talk about when a flashlight was added, when texting was available on the first cell phone. So again, expand. We want lots of those changes put in number 5. Number 6, you're going to try to figure out what area of technology best classifies your chosen artifact. What I have done is I have listed all of them here for you, and I've also given you a definition, okay? So the definition to explain what that type of technology is, okay? So what you're going to do, if you simply circle the ones that fit, down here at the bottom, that's where you need to explain why. Okay, if I were to say a cell phone fits into information and communication, which it does, I need to then at the bottom, I need to explain why. Why is it something where you can send or receive information? How does that happen? How is it a form of communication? Because that's all things that I'm going to have to put into my presentation. So the more complete your notes are, the better and easier it will be to create your presentation. All right, next questions. We need to look at its impact. I want 3 positive impacts for your artifact, and I want 3 negative impacts, okay? This chart should look familiar. Again, this is just your note-taking form, so this will not go directly copy and paste into your presentation, but rather it's a place for you to write down what you're thinking for each of these. You're going to tell me how your artifact connects to science, technology, engineering, and math, and write those inside each of these boxes. All right, this last question is, if you had the ability to change your product in any way, what is it you would change? Okay, try to give me more than just a surface value quick change. So don't say that you would just change the color. Give me more than that. Think outside the box and think of something that you could do to make that product better for you or better for your family, okay? Add those in here. Yes, again, you can tell me more than 2, but I need at least 2 of those there. Pay attention over time. We are going to split this project over several days. Canvas is going to always let you know what day you're working on it and what part you should be working on. So we'll have certain days where you are creating, where you're doing the research, and then we will have certain days where you are making your presentation, okay? Research should take you a couple class periods. So once you think that you're done, make sure that you have a thorough amount of information. If I were to answer this question just with 1 or 2 words, think about how that is going to look when I put it onto a slide that I want to display. That's not going to be enough for me to give my audience information. I need to make sure each of my thoughts are complete. Now, your notes do not need to be in sentences, so when you answer these, they can be bullet points and lists, but they should be something that you can have a complete thought on so that when you make your presentation, it's a lot easier to fill in those different slides.